Hello everybody and welcome to my garden and welcome to the first video for It's a Camping Thing. My name is Paul and behind me is the Quechua Air Seconds 4.1 fresh and black tent from Decathlon. This tent, incidentally, I purchased with my own money back in April of 2020. I've used it on several trips since then, and in this video I'm going to give you six good reasons why you should go out and purchase this tent if you're looking for a campsite camping tent, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why maybe you should look at other tents. So I hope you join me for that. Later on in the video I'm going to be talking about a possible wild camping trip which I'm having to plan right now as I speak. It's closer than I had originally predicted. So yes, if you're interested in wild camping and want to see me go out on my first wild camping adventures, stay tuned for that. And unfortunately, we begin with a negative because this tent, the Quechua Air Seconds 4.1 Fresh and Black, does not come with its own specifically designed footprint. Now, what do I mean by footprint? Well, I have one here as it so happens. This is one for a Vango Icarus 500, which just so happens to be about the same size as the tent, more or less. I'll put the sizes below for you. Now, why do I recommend a footprint? Well, it's a little bit like having bumpers on your car. It just adds another level of protection. Say you get to a campsite and you've checked the pitch, but maybe there's a stone that you've maybe not noticed or a leftover peg from the previous people who was on that pitch. This just adds another layer of protection. So you lay this on your pitch first, you peg it out on each of the 4 corners, and then you lay your tent on the top of that. This would get any damage rather than your tent. Now, this is going to cost a lot less than your tent, so I wholeheartedly recommend one of these. Plus, another factor is moisture. Any moisture that's on the ground when you lay your tent down is going to get accumulated onto your tent. By having your footprint, it just adds another layer of protection, and it means that this is going to get wet and not so much your tent, which is going to make drying time a lot easier and a lot quicker than without it. So I wholeheartedly recommend a footprint. And with drying time, with a footprint, you can hang this over a washing line. You can't so easily with a big 4-person tent. So I wholeheartedly recommend getting a footprint of this size for this tent. Now, my first reason why I think that you should go out and purchase this tent right now is the fact that it's incredibly easy to set it up on your own. Now, that's the reason why I initially purchased this tent, because whenever I was going away, I was buying small tents which were small, compact, but it meant the fact that when you wanted to get changed, or maybe after 3 or 4 days of camping, you got a little bit tiresome of being in a cramped conditions. With this tent, you can stand up in it and it's great. I can set it up on my own. There are 3 inflation tubes, you can see, right the way from the back here. You've got one at the back, one in the middle, and one at the front, and that's all it takes. You peg it out like a normal tent, but with a traditional pole tent, what I was finding is that I needed 2 people really to set the tent up. You needed someone to insert the poles, and you needed someone inside the tent to support the structure, because there's a lot of weight that's there. So I found that this tent, I could just set it up easily on my own, and I'm going to show you now how I set this tent up. First thing I want to do is just pull out any slack on the 4 corners so we can pull that in a little later on. And then the ground's really hard because we've not had any rain for a while. And unfortunately, my camping mallet is in the loft. So, there we go, we'll leave that slack for now. Again, just pull the slack out. Peg in. Okay. And it's the same for the front, pulling out any slack. I'm a little bit close to the path here though. So I like to inflate my tent from the rear of the tent forwards. Just a personal preference really. Make sure that's on tight. Now all 3 tubes are inflated. That slack that we put into these, we then pull straight through. Again, on all 4 corners. There we go. That's added a lot of tension into the tent. Now there are 3 hoops on either side, at the bottom of each tube, which you can peg out as well. I'm not going to do that for the purpose of this demonstration, but basically put as much tension as you can into it and place your peg in and then work your way around. The next step is taking our little bag of tricks that comes with the tent, and in here you'll get 2 support beams for the inside the tent. I'll come to that in a moment. And then we've got our poles, which will be there to erect the hood on the front of the tent. But first of all, we need to go inside the tent. Inside the tent, it's quite dark in here today. It's a very gloomy April day. But as you can see, the tent roof is a little bit slack at the moment. So we're going to take these 2 aluminium poles. We've got a female end here with 3 holes in. You can just see that there, 3 holes there. And then we've got the male end with a spring-loaded little catch on there. And then we need to line those up. And there's a little red line. If you'll focus on, there we go. And then gradually we're going to push that in all the way, match the red line up, and then slowly pull it out. But what we need to do is place one end into this little red slot at the front near the door, and then the other red slot by the bedroom. Compress your aluminium poles, the male and the female. Place one end in, and then the one near the bedroom, and pull out until you hear that click, which is there. Now a lot of that slack is now gone and replaced by some tension. Whilst here, I'm also going to pull on the slack of the bedroom as well. There we go. Now I need to go and put that canopy up. Now for the canopy, we take the poles. They've got a piece of elastic running all the way through, so it's all one piece. Just open it out. And then, in the canopy, we've got a tunnel for that to go through. And then just place that in that end, just loosely for now. Slot that in on that side too. Canopy's now taking shape. And once again, pulling out the slack to add just a little bit more tension. And back at the rear of the tent, we need to pull out this rope, because this will aid ventilation. Oh, that's tight. And then put these in as well. We haven't had any rain for about a month, so the ground is really hard. A bit of slack on that. Now, my second reason why I think you should go out and purchase this tent right now is the white exterior. This is the fresh of the fresh and black feature of this tent. This keeps this tent incredibly cool during those hot summer days. For someone like me who likes to venture out early in the morning, maybe for sunrise, to get those all-important sunrise photographs, then I often like to come back to the tent in the early afternoon after I've done everything I want to do and have an afternoon siesta. Just have a little sleep in the back of the tent. And in a traditional tent, when you go into the tent and it's been a hot day, that heat accumulates and it's like walking into a greenhouse and is incredibly uncomfortable to sleep in. With this tent, you've got none of that. It is like walking into a tent and it is beautiful. It's like a cool summer's night. This tent is just fantastic for that. So that is my second reason why I think you should go out and purchase this tent right now. And my third reason why I think that you should purchase this tent right now is the space. You know, I'm predominantly a lone traveller. I'm someone who likes to go away on my own. But if I go away with other people, then, you know, I've got the room to do it. But as a lone traveller like myself, I take photography gear, I take video gear. I'm probably going to be staying at a location for 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe even a week at a time. Now, I need place to store my clothes. Do I leave my clothes in my car with a small tent and then have to keep going backwards and forwards to my car? No. In here, I've got the space to do it. I can put my clothes, my food, I can put my camera equipment in here. I can do and live out of this tent for a week. And that for me is just luxury. I can get changed standing up, which is a luxury. I can sit here and watch the world go by. It is just fantastic. If I'm going with somebody else, then equally, again, I don't have to buy another tent because I've already got it here, because 2 people could quite easily live in here for a week. You've got the room, you've got the space to do it. 3 people, yeah, things start getting a little bit snug, a little bit kind of friendly, you know. But, you know, again, you can do it. And 4 people, again, you could do that. You would probably have to leave out a few of the stuff that you're going to be taking. But, again, you could fit 4 people in this tent. But for me, predominantly as a lone traveller, someone who's used this tent as a lone traveller, then, yeah, I think this tent is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I really do. I mean, it is huge. For one person, this tent is huge. Hold on. I mean, it's huge. It's massive. It really is. I've got plenty of room. I need. What more room do I need? So there you go. That's my third reason why I think you should go out and purchase this tent right now. And my fourth good reason as to what I think that you should purchase this tent right now is the blackout bedroom. This is fantastic. I first purchased my first blackout bedroom tent a few years ago now. It was the Coleman Festival Blackout 4. And I was like, oh, wow, this is a game changer. And this tent sort of follows on that trend. At the rear of the tent of the Quechua Air Seconds 4.1 fresh and black tent, you have the blackout bedroom. And this is fantastic. Because again, if you're like me, who likes to go out on your adventures early in the morning, maybe go exploring, and then come back to the tent and have your afternoon nap, you can just come into the tent, into the rear of the tent, close the door, and it could be the middle of the night for all you're aware of. It really is. It's going to be cool because you've got the white exterior of the tent and the ventilation. And now you've got the blackout bedroom of the tent. You can probably just make out my blue light of the microphone just moving about. That's how, and my hand moving about in the corner there. So yeah, this gives you an idea. It's not exact, but it gives you an idea of what you can expect from the blackout bedroom. You can get such a good quality sleep with the coolness of the white exterior and this black bedroom. It really does make you feel like it's the middle of the night. And if you put some earplugs in, it could be the middle of the night. It really is. I don't think I could go and purchase a campsite camping tent now without this blackout bedroom feature. It really is. It makes the world of difference. And my fifth reason why I believe that you should purchase this tent right now is the ventilation, because this window is not like a PVC construction. I can actually feel the breeze coming through this tent as I speak to you right now. Now, this helps in ventilation so well, incredibly well. It has a good point and it has a bad point, because whilst it's letting ventilation through and allowing the tent to cool, if there's any chance of rain, I please urge you to zip this window up, and it's the same for the front door, because rain will seep through and come into your tent. Now, when this is zipped up, there is a rain channel just down here that will allow rain to escape and stay out of the tent. It's the same for the front door. But as I say, it does allow for extra ventilation, which is all important in keeping the tent nice and fresh. And to demonstrate the window where rain can get in, I'm going to use this watering can. So, yeah, rain can definitely get in if you leave the curtain up. As you can see, rain has definitely got through. And there we go. It's come all the way down here. So you've got to remember to zip this up, and it's the same for the front door as well. All right, I've got to get a cloth for all this now. Now, on this side of the tent, the window is different because you can unhook it. And as you can probably see already, it looks a little bit different compared to the window on the other side. Because this one is your traditional PVC style window where rain can fall on it and it's not going to enter, and you can still look out on a horrible rainy sort of day and you've got no fear of rain entering the tent. The front door is the same as the first window looked at, so if you want to look out, you can unzip the curtain, and there we are. But again, this is a mesh construction. Again, I can feel the breeze coming through the tent, and whilst that feels great, unfortunately that can also let moisture into the tent if it does rain, and you can roll up the curtain, and then we can pin that in place, and then we can see out. Now the front door is a little bit more protected because we have that hood just above our heads, but even so, rain can still, and does, I've had it myself. I was out in Norfolk and it did. We had this like this and rain did get into the tent. So that's something to bear in mind. It's a good feature. It's probably also a negative feature, but you can't have it both ways, folks. Personally, for me, I would rather have it like this, where you can actually allow a little bit more of that ventilation to come into the tent. And then when you think it's going to rain, just zip it up. And there we go. And ventilation isn't just restricted to the living area either, because here at the back in the blackout bedroom, we've got a ventilation port here as well. Now, if we don't want any bugs to get in, we use the white zip, we unzip that, and then we've got a mesh part there that stops those bugs getting in. Zip that back up, and then if you want to open it up fully, we've got the red zip. This can be tied back as well. I can feel the breeze coming through now, and it's a cold April day, so yeah, I can definitely feel that. But outside, we've got a blue toggle, pull on that, that lifts the rear of the tent up, and now I can reach outside even. Great feature, but I can feel the air coming through to cool the tent down on a hot summer's day. It's also a good little port for Buster. Buster! Buster! And this right here is my sixth and final reason why I believe you should go out and purchase this tent right now. Because not all of us are blessed without mobility. Some of us have mobility issues. Maybe like my mum had a knee operation the last few years and struggled with obstacles like this, find them a bit of a trip hazard. Some tents, you can't do anything about it. It is this or nothing. Maybe you're in a wheelchair. You still have a thirst for the great outdoors and want to go camping. And again, something like this would be an issue. But with this tent, Quechua have done something very clever. And at each end of this bathtub design, we can flatten it. Now this, I love it. It just takes a few seconds. And we have a flat, non-trippable entrance to the tent. Now, if we wanted to, we actually have an eyelet at either end of the front, so we can flatten this down further, or if you wanted to, get one of your car mats out and lay it over the front just to make sure that this isn't gonna pop up and maybe cause a trip hazard. So if you have mobility issues, maybe you have a dodgy knee, or maybe you're in a wheelchair, then this tent is perfectly fine for you. If you can't get into the bedroom, then you could always sleep in this front living area. But again, we never know what's around the next corner, folks, and maybe in a couple of years down the line, maybe we do have a problem with our knee, or maybe have mobility issues. This tent would still be great for you. Well, there you go, folks. I've just given you 6 reasons why I believe that you should go out and purchase the Quechua Air Seconds 4.1 Fresh and Black tent from Decathlon. Buster, you're a good boy, aren't you? It's a bit cold though. It's a very cold April day today. Not the day for going camping, that's for sure. But yes, the Quechua Air Seconds 4.1 is a fantastic tent. I purchased this tent a couple of years ago. And for me, I wanted a tent that was a little bit larger than what I was accustomed to, and a tent that I could put up on my own. Now, with this being an air beam construction tent, that makes life incredibly easy. And yes, I was very skeptical at the beginning about air beams. Oh, one would let me down and that sort of thing. But so far, touch wood, it hasn't let me down so far. The tent is stood up to some incredible weather, both hot sunshine and rain, storms. We had storms in Norfolk in 2020. It stood up to that perfectly fine. We had hot weather in Windermere in 2021, and it was great in that. Buster and I went away for my birthday in May, and yeah, the tent was great. The Fresh and Black feature was, he's got an itch in his ear. The Fresh and Black feature was incredible. We had an afternoon nap one day on my birthday after I had a few too many drinks, and it was incredibly cool. And he's trying to give me paw. Not yet, not time yet. Come on, lay down. I don't want paw yet. Bless you. God bless it. Oh, bless your heart. Yeah, it stood up really. Come on, down, lay down. Not gonna give you paw yet. Yeah, it was incredible. We had hot weather in May last year, and it was incredibly cool inside. Lovely, lovely tent. The Fresh and Black feature is incredible and well worth the extra money for it. As I say, it's a tent I can put up on my own. It's cool inside. The blackout bedroom is fantastic. When you go in there in the middle of the day, it could be the middle of the night for all it matters. And yeah, I look forward to many more trips in the future with this tent, sometimes with Buster and possibly sometimes on my own and sometimes with other people. But yeah, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect tent. I don't think any tent is. I think it depends on you, what you're looking for in a tent. And maybe, I don't know, there isn't a perfect tent out there. I think we all get in this notion that the fact that there's the perfect one-size-fits-all tent, and there isn't. But this, for me, does the job, and for me, this is probably about as good as it really needs to be. It's not perfect. There are a couple of areas where I think that it could be improved, for sure, but it's just little niggles, and I can live with them. Can't I? Yes, I can. So there we go, folks. That is my conclusion on the Quechua Air Seconds 4.1 Fresh and Black from Decathlon. It's a great campsite camping tent. Definitely not a wild camping tent. And speaking of wild camping, you got a round bum today, ain't you? It really is. Fidget bum. You're a no, I don't want your paw. Not yet. Not yet. Lay down. I'm nearly done. I am nearly done. I am. Speaking of wild camping, I have got a plan for wild camping. Now, I can't talk about the details too much because it's a little bit hush at the moment. I don't want to give too many details away. But by this time next month, I could well have done, and it's only a possibility, but there is definitely a plan in place for me to go wild camping within the next month. And I am super excited about it. I can't give the details away, as I said, but yes, This time next month, they will be, hopefully, fingers, toes, and everything crossed, a video where I say here, probably on the community tab, that I have done my first wild camping trip. And you can see details about that both here on YouTube and on my Facebook page, which I'll put details below for you. So there we go. Wild camping is coming to It's a Camping Thing, because it's something I've just got to do. Buster won't be coming along for that trip. But yeah, there are plans involved. Yes, I've got a bad ankle, but I think I found a way around it. So keep an eye out for that. I want to thank you very much for watching. It's probably been a bit long video, but there we go. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video in any way helpful, please consider liking, leaving a comment below on the video, and subscribing to the channel, clicking on the little bell icon to be notified of all future video releases, including hopefully when I go wild camping, and I'm super, super, super excited about that. I'm going to take little Buster here for his walkies. Buster, walkies. Walkies. You're not excited about it? Would you like to go for your walk? Want to go walkies? We've got to go. Should we go walkies? You ready? Ready? On your lips. Do you want to go walkies? Talk to me. Talk. Talk. Do you want to go walk? Come here. Come here. Buster. Do you want to go walkies? Talk to me. Talk to me. You want to go walk then? Yeah? Give me a paw. Do you want to go walk? Paw. Bright paw. All right, come on. I'm going to take him out for a walk, and I shall hopefully see you again in the next video. You want to go walk? Come on then, let's go. See you, folks. Come on, off we go.